Have to wrap it there for weather and take you straight live to outside Barberton, which is the home of course, the late former Deputy President. Let's listen in to Nomvula Mokonyane of the ANC.
His life. Condolences also to the entire community of Barberton and Mpumalanga. We met with the leadership of the ANC here in Mpumalanga, together with the deployees of the ANC here in Mpumalanga and NEC members responsible for organizing nationally. We were led by the provincial chairperson of the ANC in Mpumalanga. We met and we conveyed our condolences to the family. We are also quite heartened by the fact that the South African government has taken a decision to give Comrade Didi a funeral that is befitting of a Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa. Tomorrow the ANC, through the province working together with National, will then start sharing with members of the public what the family has agreed upon, that Didi was an ANC person. Didi served and belonged to the ANC up to the last hour, and therefore they would want to see the ANC being part of this broader family and celebrating his life. The ANC in Mpumalanga will be organizing various memorial services across the province in the 3 regions. The ANC would also be putting its own condolence books around the province. The ANC would coordinate with various other provinces and will put together an operations center for all provinces of the ANC to communicate through the office of the Provincial Secretary of the African National Congress here in Mpumalanga. The chairperson leading the PEC would work with all alliance partners and all other peace-loving South Africans and political parties who would wish to come here and pay their respects. Of importance also is the form of the celebration. We have all agreed that we must tell the story of the person David Mabuza, an activist, a patriot, a leader of the African National Congress, who, when situations demand, he would forever be available to provide his energy, his resources, and most importantly subject himself to the current leadership for him to serve. And the last thing that we also want to share with yourself as we interacted with the family is that it is not an easy thing that the family can live with, just like any other person. And all of us must remember them in our prayers and in our thoughts. And please give everyone a chance to remember and celebrate the life of David Didi Mabuza in a manner that generations to come can know that once upon a time there was somebody who became an activist beyond the public office and the leadership position he occupied in the ANC. He remained a servant of the people to the end.
Azienda Ngobo from Newsroom Africa, I just wanted to get a sense of whether there was any conversation about how the family would like him to be buried. Of course, he is entitled to a state funeral category 2. Is that something that was discussed, or is that still too soon?
We have been briefed by the family, and as we walked in, there was also government present, and we appreciate the conversations between the family and government. And as you know, the deputy president, it's difficult to say the former, the deputy president passed on having been a former deputy president of the republic, and therefore all that is befitting for any official of the state will also be bestowed upon him. We saw the Director General here together with her team, and at an appropriate time the South African government will communicate.
Ma'am, Muluku Mlato here from ANC. You started off by saying or thanking the presidency, in your word, for according him the funeral befitting of Deputy President. Do we have any indication as yet in terms of the day that the funeral perhaps will be, but also in terms of logistics, seeing that, as you said, he was the Deputy President, where is it going to be, in a stadium, in the village, or here, or in the city? If you can just speak to us.
I think given his status, the funeral will be a funeral of a deputy president of the republic, and government would actually be in a position to communicate that together with the family. As the ANC, we will be communicating from tomorrow, the entire program that starts from tomorrow morning throughout the week, including the 3 memorial services that are going to be held here in Mpumalanga, as well as other memorial services that are going to be run in the different provinces, the prayer services that are going to take place here. The date, the time, the logistics, we prefer that it be government together with the family communicating those details, and we urge everyone to give that responsibility to those that have been assigned by government, so that then you guys don't also condemn us as the NC for taking a responsibility that is not ours. The lines are very clear.
Samkele Maseko from the SABC. Dear She, just as the ANC, Mr. Mabuza had, former Deputy President Mabuza had some huge reservations, particularly when it came to the trajectory that the African National Congress was on. He was particularly not happy with the state of how the organization was acting electorally, looking at the recent elections that took place within the country. As the ANC, as officials of the ANC, when last did you have an engagement with Mabuza as officials of the party? And on a personal note, what were some of the points that he was particularly worried about on the trajectory of the organization?
I don't know what you know, and I don't know who told you. I last spoke to Didi 2 weeks ago as the head of elections. Didi was not critical of the ANC. He was committed to work together with the ANC and make the ANC to recover from the setbacks, because he was there in the trenches, and he was there even now. When we left Mpumalanga after the provincial strategy workshop, one of the things that he said is that I want you and Dumiseni to come here and come and tell me what is the strategy for Mpumalanga. But as he says, ningabe over concerned, because Nami, I've got other ideas I think I can help the ANC with. No condemnation, unless some people met with somebody who falsified himself as David Mabuza. Didi never spoke outside of the organization. Didi never came out to criticize an organization that at the end of the day he must stand in front of the public and make people to believe in. And that's the strength of his position and how he operated as a man who always wanted to unite the ANC, to inspire people and give hope to the people. Critical in that discussion was the issues about Litsema. If anything, 2 weeks back that he told me, as he says, sengithenge nomshini wokudrilla lapha ngibhora amanzi namatraka lapha ngifuna ukuthi masiyenze Litsema la ka ANC sikwazi ukusiza abantu. And we will remember Didi as officials. The national chair met with the former deputy president just a few weeks ago. All that he was saying is that we must start now, and he was happy that we have started early. So this one, as we know, it's only you who knows.
You never had my question correctly.
He was never critical of the ANC. He was concerned about where we are. And he was committed to find a space for him to work. And he saw himself as an organizer of the ANC more than anything.
But you as the ANC, will you be able to take through his visions, as you said that he had this Litsema program? Are you going to do it?
Already we all have said that we are not going to go to South Africans 3 months before elections. We start now. And going back to people is that we are not going to be only giving them the manifesto. There must be visibility in terms of delivery. There must be accountability in terms of our public representatives. And of importance, you can see, we have started, officials of the ANC now are deployed to the different metros, are sent back to their branches. There's an accountability framework that we have now developed in the ANC to ensure that you resolve matters as and when you find them on site. And that is the spirit. That's what we must celebrate and remember DT about. We may not all have the capacity to have a borehole driller, but your broom, your time, your black plastic bag, your being in the community and responding to issues of the community goes a long way.
Just sorry, on the logistics of the funeral, I know you said the government must communicate. Are they near finalization of those particular logistics, or where are you on the?
We have been briefed and we are satisfied with where government and the family are. And we will give the necessary support.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Why do you bring this and the... Oh,
that was the Deputy Secretary.
All right, those are live visuals there, as of course the ANC's second Deputy SG, Nomvula Mokonyane, there was engaging with members of the media right outside the late former Deputy President David Mabuza's Mpumalanga home. And she's just announced that, of course, as the ANC, they will be announcing the entire program. It will be communicated tomorrow by the ANC as to the official program, which of course begins in earnest from tomorrow right through up until those 3 different memorial services that are set to take place across the 3 regions of Mpumalanga.